Fresh off a Rose Bowl appearance in 2022, Utah went a disappointing 8-5 in 2023. But we've got to cut the Utes a little bit of slack. This team did not have an offense. Cam Rising was out for the entire season. They were playing quarterback carousel the rest of the year. Handful of other starters were out, and the defense could only do so much. They could only carry the team for so long. Maybe 8-5 should be viewed as more of an accomplishment, considering all the things they battled. But regardless, Utah is now beginning a new era for their program as they transition to the Big 12. And if this team can stay healthy, they have the schedule to compete for a title in their first year in the conference. So welcome back to the Gridiron Expert, guys. Ready to break down the Utes' schedule for this upcoming season as they come in at number 11 in our way too early top 25. As always, please continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos, and check out everything down in the description below, including our website, thegridironexpert.com. Tons of exclusive content over there so you don't miss out on any of what we are producing this offseason. Again, the college football season never dies. It never ends here at our channel. We want you to take advantage of it and become a part of our GE Nation, especially as we get closer and closer to prediction season, which will start here in just a few months. So take a look at Utah, guys. 8-5 last year, lost to Northwestern in their bowl game. No offense. That was the story of the Utes. This year, though, everybody should be coming back, or at least the big-time guys, right? Cam Rising should be back at quarterback. He was injured in that Rose Bowl game back in 2022, missed all of 2023, should be back and ready to go. Same can be said for Brant Keithy. Same can be said for Micah Bernard. The defense is typically strong under Kyle Whittingham. This is a team that I do believe could win the Big 12 in their first year in the conference. And you take a look at your schedule, it's not hard to see why. Utah has a very favorable schedule. The first thing I do notice is that the team does alternate home and away games in their final 8 games. That's not ideal, not getting back-to-back home games anytime in those final 8 games, but otherwise, it's not terrible. And honestly, here's the thing. Utah's season, whether or not they are Big 12 title contenders, whether they are a New Year's Six Bowl contender, maybe even a playoff contender. Remember, the playoff has expanded to 12 teams. It's going to be a little bit easier for some of these teams to slip in there. Their season's defined in the first 5 weeks of the year, before their first bye week. The month of September is going to define Utah's season. And here's why. If you look at who they've got to play, in their first 5 games, you've got Baylor, Oklahoma State, and Arizona. Those are massive games. Big games. I know Baylor is a non-conference game. Baylor, because they had that home-and-home, they played each other last year in Waco. Utah survived, somehow came back and won that game 20-13, and what was a really one of the more entertaining games of the season, just kind of gets overshadowed. This is a stretch that if Utah cannot go 4-1 or better in, you can go ahead and just close the book on any big-time hopes the Utes would have. Southern Utah shouldn't be an issue. Baylor in the non-conference is going to be an intriguing game, but getting that game in Salt Lake City is massive, and Baylor, we just don't know what to expect from them this year. Dave Aranda's team's kind of on the decline, which is not what you want to see. At Utah State, the Aggies aren't going to be, I don't think, that difficult, but still a rivalry game, the Battle of Brothers that you do not want to overlook. Everybody's going to be hyped for that game. But the 2 biggest games by far are at Oklahoma State and Arizona. That's really what I'm looking at here. I would not be shocked, and I'm not predicting games here, would not be shocked to see Utah start 3-0. I think if you're a Utah fan, you are expecting to go 3-0. But at Oklahoma State and Arizona, the Cowboys, that will be Utah's first Big 12 game. So first game is a Big 12 member, first conference game at least, and it's on the road in Stillwater against the Big 12 runner-up from last year. The Cowboys won 10 games. Practically their entire offense is returning. The defense was atrocious, but if you're Oklahoma State, in theory, your defense can't get any worse. So now having to go on the road to this environment for your first conference game, Oklahoma State's going to be like, hey, Utah, welcome to the league, right? They're going to want to be, telling them that it's this welcome to the league, welcome to the Big 12 type of moment, ready to take them down. It's going to be a battle of Oklahoma State's offense and Utah's defense, and having to do it on the road is going to make this thing very difficult. So that Oklahoma State game is massive for the standings, massive for Utah and their hopes of maybe winning a title. Then you look at Arizona. This Arizona team is going to be very good. Noah Fafita, Tenororo McMillan, very good offense for the Wildcats this year. And yes, Utah does get this game at home, but they got torched by the Wildcats last year, 42-18 in Pac-12 play. I know, obviously, then Utah did not have the offense to keep up with them. It was towards the end of the year. Arizona was getting hot. Utah was kind of out of the running for anything in the Pac-12. But it's something to watch out for here. Yes, a possible revenge game in Salt Lake City, but the Wildcats are going to give the Utes all they can handle. So a 3-0 start possibly could turn into a 3-2 finish going into their bye week. If you're Utah, you've got to find a way to start 3-0 and then at least split those first 2 conference games against the Cowboys and the Wildcats. It's going to be a very, very tough 2-game stretch there. And again, if they are not 4-1 or 5-0 entering that bye week going into October, I just don't know what can be done for them. Because here's the thing, those final 8 games or final 7 games, they aren't bad by any means. It's going to be very hard to win all of them. I think Utah would be favored in the majority of them, but it's going to be very hard to win 7 straight games. At Arizona State, the Utes won 55-3. The Sun Devils will improve in year 2 under Kenny Dillingham. We expect the Utes to be favored there. TCU at home, massive. TCU very disappointing last year after being the national runner-up in 2022. At Houston, a team that's now dealing with a new head coach in Willie Fritz. A lot of changes with the Cougars. Get the bye week before the Holy War. That's massive. Big-time rivalry game there against BYU. Going to be well-rested for that one. That should be a very fun game there. BYU, though, just missed out on a bowl game last year. Should improve a little bit in their second year in the Big 12, but still, it's going to be fun. This game was already a big-time rivalry game as it was, but now it's a conference game, which adds even more heat and intensity to the game. At Colorado, the Utes won 23-17 against the Buffaloes last year. Colorado might improve, but kind of similar to Oklahoma State. If they don't improve their defense, they're not going anywhere. Iowa State and UCF, those are 2 games at the end of the year that I think if Utah's going to slip up, it's going to come to one of them, right? Iowa State had a phenomenal defense last year. They've got tons of offensive production coming back. Massive that Utah gets this game at home on Senior Day. And remember, Salt Lake City, Rice-Eccles Stadium is a very difficult place to play. So one of the more difficult places to play in the country. So don't overlook that aspect of this. So Iowa State at home was big. And then at UCF, a team that has revamped their offense. KJ Jefferson coming to Orlando in from Arkansas. Gus Malzahn's offense should be flying high. And again, if their defense continues to improve, going to be a tough out on their Senior Day. So to me, their 4 toughest games are Oklahoma State and Arizona, and then Iowa State and UCF. Those games come back-to-back. Oklahoma State, Arizona back-to-back, Iowa State, UCF back-to-back. The thing is that Iowa State, UCF games, they won't mean anything if Utah struggles early on in the year. So you look at this, guys. The Utes have one of the better coaches in the country in Kyle Whittingham. They've got a great veteran quarterback returning in Cam Rising. They've got what should be an elite defense, and all things considered, a very, very, very favorable schedule. They navigate the month of September well. And again, the big games are at home. Baylor's at home. Arizona's at home. Those massive. The biggest game there is at Oklahoma State. If they can navigate that, 4-1 or better, this is a Utah team that I could very well see finishing the year with at least 9 wins, maybe even 10. And at that point, they will be in the running for a Big 12 championship. And if they can win that, they will be in the college football playoff. They've been so close the last couple of years. They've been very close to the playoff, haven't been able to get in. They've fallen short late in the regular season. They've fallen short in the Pac-12 championship, whatever it may be. It's expanded to 12 teams now. The door is open. The talent is there. The schedule is there. Can Kyle Whittingham and the Utes finally take advantage of it and deliver? So, guys, there you have it. Number 11 team in the country, the Utah Utes. Will they win the Big 12 in their first year of the conference? Leave your thoughts and comments down below. Let's get going. The season will be here before we know it. But until then, please continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos. Check out everything down in the description below, including our website, thegridironexpert.com. Do not miss out on the exclusive content we have over there to help you get through this offseason. We want you to take it out. We want you to become a member of our GE Nation. And once again, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. And we'll see you next time right here on the Gridiron Expert.